All right, y'all, it's Tuesday, 6 o'clock this time, the first time in what, maybe 2 or 3 weeks. We've been on our regular time, but that's okay, folks. 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, it's still going to be a hot show, and we got one for you tonight, y'all. Before I do this, let me do this. Before the West Coast, East Coast, and everything between, folks. From Eve after dark to concerts in the park. You live with Alonzo, the Godfather of West Coast hip hop. This is how we do it every Tuesday, most of the time. Around this time, me and Dusty, y'all. We're about to get busy, folks. About to get busy. Dusty, what's up with you, Doc?
Man, can't complain. Lance, how you doing today, brother?
You know what? I'm doing fantastic, man. I just talked to my boy Yella a few minutes ago, checking on him. He all right. He officially retired from hip-hop, man. He said he ain't doing nothing, no interviews, no book tours, no shows. He just in the pasture, baby, in the pasture.
Man, shout out to Yella. Thank you for your contribution to this culture that we love. That's good that he's doing good, man. Is he taking retirement cool? Do you think he's one that's going to be able to last? You know him better than most people.
Yella's pretty serious about when he says he's going to do something, man. He's pretty consistent. I don't think unless somebody give him a whole bunch of money, I don't see him pulling that WWF type of stuff. I'm going to retire on Monday, back on Saturday night, still throwing people around. Now, I don't see him doing that. He settled down a lot. He had a couple of healthy issues at one time. And, he's tired of airplanes. He's tired of all of it. He said he's cool. Yeah, I can't get mad at him.
I could see how that could be fun in your 20s. Traveling in your 20s can be fun. But as you get up in age, even when I'm going somewhere I want to go, I get kind of annoyed by traveling.
Traveling can be a pain in the ass because you got airports ain't no joke. You're talking about 400 or 500 yards sometimes going from the park, from the drop off to the gate, and don't mess around and be late. Mess around and go to the wrong gate because Southwest is notorious for changing gates on your ass. They are notorious. Because I have a tendency to screenshot my boarding pass, and I'm looking at my boarding pass, gate 15, gate 15. I'm standing at gate 15. Ain't nobody there but me. This happened multiple times. And I look up and I hear him on the PA. Now boarding gate 25 for so-and-so and so-and-so, where I'm supposed to be going. Oh my God. I've been the last person on the plane so many times. It's ridiculous, dude. It's ridiculous. So yeah, I can see that I can be very nerve-wracking.
Yeah. Well, shout out to the chat. Make sure you guys hit that like button before you get nice and comfortable. And if this is your first time joining the channel and you enjoy what you hear throughout the show, make sure you hit that subscribe button and tune in. I see a lot of the regulars in the chat, so let's get this going, Lonzo. A few things I want to discuss tonight, but first things first, man, I guess the biggest story of this week is the Diddy trial. And they're not allowing any cameras into the courtroom for this. Unfortunately, I was really hoping I could watch it on TV. I have a thing with watching trials, even going back to the OJ Simpson thing. But Diddy, man, he so a lot of the evidence that we have been privy to being on the outside is not going to be admissible in court. I think I'm using the correct word.
Yeah.
So the word on the street, what I'm hearing is it's looking really, really good for Diddy. Ooh. He may be a freaky son of a gun. He may be running with the rainbow flag crew, which is no problem with that. Do your thing. He may, and we know he puts his hands on women. There's other things, but a lot of the stuff is going to be left out. But we talked about Diddy throughout the year when this happened. What are your thoughts now going into this trial?
Man, I'm never surprised at what happens in this country at this stage in the game. I never thought we'd have the president we have right now, but folks with enough money can pretty much do what the hell they want to, and that's just a game we playing these days, Doc. That's the monopoly game we playing. So ain't no telling, dude. I mean, I'd have bet the farm on a lot of things. And if I did, I'd be a homeless ass right now. So you never know. I just saw a post right before the show started about how he allegedly had Cassie do some implants and then didn't like him and made the doctor take him right out. No waiting, no time, just snatched him right back out. And, stuff like that. And the doctor come up missing. Doctor ain't here no more. I think if when Al B. Sure get to talking, I think things may change significantly. Because, dude, man, come on, man. It's so many people in his circle has just had random acts of death, just random acts of death, dude. And, as somebody who's been on the hip hop scene in California, we haven't had that kind of loss overall. This guy at one label had multiple people, just young people, just bam, 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 bam. Heavy D, his Andre Harrell, his baby mama, Kim Porter, I'll be sure damn near died. Folk that was supposed to be his people, up close and personal, that know real things. Just, hey man, you know what? I can't do it no more. I'm out of here. But for whatever reason, and I just think that's very suspicious. You got gangster labels out here, man. You expect people with gangster labels for people to check out. All right, that's the game they play. But this Big Boy, Bad Boy is not a gangster rap label for the most part. They do some gangster shit, but they're not supposed to be a gangster rap label. But either they got the worst eating habits in the world, or they just some bad luck brothers, or somebody's making some strings happen. I'm betting on the latter.
I got to roll with you. Now, speaking of that, it's almost like you took the words out of my mouth. Biggie Small's birthday, him and I share the same birthday. You and Pac share the same birthday. Gemini season is almost in full effect, so we got to get ready. But Biggie's birthday's coming up. Yes, sir. I would love to know, in hindsight, even going back to when you first heard of the whole situation with Biggie and Tupac, and did you ever think that Diddy had any involvement then? And do you think he has any now?
I was suspicious of it, man. It was too much going on, dude. People ask, man, why did you just back about the game? Dude, the game got so messed up. It wasn't even about the music anymore. The music got replaced with bullshit. And dude, being an older dude, I don't need this right here to get no money. I had option. It wasn't like I was so attracted to it. I was sprung on the whole lifestyle, so I was able to do other shit. And you never know what's going on, man. But it just seems like everybody was trying to one up another one on their gangster level. Everybody was trying to one up somebody else when it came to doing gangster moves. And I had my suspicions. I'm gonna put it like that. As my daddy would say,
it's funny that you say people were trying to one up each other back then.
Yeah. No, my daddy would say, you shit in one hand and
what did Daddy say?
You shit in one hand and suspect in the other. See which one fill up the fastest. Yeah, go ahead.
Love those old school sayings, man. Yeah, so speaking of one-upping people back then, you had I'm not straight out of Compton, but F the Police was a revolutionary song. Up until then, you're like, damn, would never think of releasing a song like that. Dayton Family released a song called F the FBI, and they said they had so much shit. They basically said that the stuff that N.W.A. probably dealt with, they were dealing with it on a much bigger level back then. And these are just guys from Flint, Michigan. They probably sold, 800, 900,000 copies, maybe 1 million of various projects, the Dayton Family. But I just got done interviewing one of them, and he explained that to me. Yeah, going back to the one-up thing, talk to us about that, man. F the police, F the FBI. I mean, you're putting a spotlight on yourself, right?
Yeah, you definitely are, especially in times when that was not permissible, dude. Imagine if they did that during the J. Edgar Hoover time. They'd be down there with homeboy in what's that prison Donald Trump sending folks to?
John Gotti.
No, the one that Donald Trump is sending people to. Come on, man.
Oh, El Salvador.
They've been in El Salvador. I mean, we talk about the FBI. FBI, they like the national police, and they know all your business, whether you want them to or not, and they know how to find you. And if you get on their list, you get on their shit list, you got a problem. But again, because people want that attention, they'll do shit like that. Just like homeboy, what's his name? The rapper, F. Donald Trump. Okay. When he first came out the first time, he made a song called F. Donald Trump. and it's not smart career wise, but in this age of social media, when antics get you just as much airplay as talent, why not go for it? I remember when Ice-T made that song called Cop Killer. He caught hell too.
Oh yeah.
Cop Killer. Cop Killer. You know, that brought him a lot of hell. But again, because he was a celebrity, he ended up being a cop. He's been been the longest cop on TV, to be exact. Now, how did that change your attitude?
What'd you think when that song came out, Lonzo? Cop Killer. I mean, that's a ballsy song to put out.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It was one of them songs. First of all, it was more of a punk rock song. It wasn't something we didn't hear it on K-Day. We heard about it. We didn't hear it on K-Day. And again, it seemed like something that was he explained it as being just a cut on the album. It wasn't that was supposed to be no single or nothing like that, but because because of what it was about, it just blew up. And a lot of times, same thing with F the Police and N.W.A. You know, they made a song. They wasn't trying to go global with it. They just made a song, but the Rodney King situation made it relevant to the rest of the world, and it was a catalyst for them to go global and be looked at totally different.
In that case, is there a such thing as all publicity is good publicity, or is there some publicity you probably just don't want?
It all depends. You know, if you N.W.A. and you F the Police, you go through a little heat, all of a sudden you become a hero. Or if you Monica Lewinsky, you do the presidential Neil and Bob, and all of a sudden you're the biggest hoe in the world. No, you don't want all that. You know, it's just it's certain things that just have different. Certain things have different effects overall. Like I said, when Monica Lewinsky did that to Bill Clinton, she still has issues with that today. Meanwhile, N.W.A. are heroes.
Yep. Let's pivot into something that I would like to discuss, you know, for a big part of the night. But I want to start it with a quote that I came across, Lonzo, from Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. She's a Black psychologist, motivational speaker. She passed away a little while ago, but there was a quote that I came across on my Instagram, and I'm going to read it to you, and then we're going to kind of jump into another topic. But quote, "We're the only people on the entire planet who have been taught to sing and praise our demeanment. I'm a bitch. I'm a hoe. I'm a gangster. I'm a thug. I'm a dog. If you can train people to demean and degrade themselves, you can oppress them forever. You can even program them to kill themselves, and they won't even understand what happened." What do you think about that?
Absolutely true. I totally believe it. And it's amazing how everybody claims to know so much about the game that's being run on us, but we still play it. Everybody claims, oh man, I know about the government doing this and the police do that and the scientists do this, but you still play the game. It ain't changed your direction, no way, form, or fashion. So you're more, and a lot of people are more inclined to be perceived as cool than to be perceived as smart. Smart supersedes cool, supersedes smart every time, and that's only in our community. In most cases.
Look at this smart motherfucker.
Yeah, smart brother with a book or a computer that's doing some real stuff. Oh man, look at this square ass fool, man. It's just amazing, and it's supported. I mean, dude, think for a minute. The worst thing you can do in our community is tell somebody is report somebody that committed a crime in the community. You become a snitch. And everybody knows the snitch ain't shit. Snitches get stitches. Meanwhile, while you supporting snitches, you're supporting crime. Bottom line, give a damn how you twist it. When you don't report crime, you're supporting crime. You might as well be a co-conspirator to the person that's committing the crime. You making sure that they get away with it. You're not helping to solve it to prevent it from happening again. And the only time most people want to get involved is when it hits their house. Let's keep it 100. If you don't want the real shit, don't tune into this channel right here. The only time people really get involved when they hit their house. Oh man, why nobody just sitting there? Dude, come on, man. Come on. And that's the game we play. Didn't you wonder why the hood is so hot? Ain't nobody coming outside the hood to make it hot. Ain't nobody importing heat to make the hood hot, Doc. The heat from the hood comes from within the hood. Folks that went to elementary school together, changed high schools, or just got grown are arch enemies dropping bodies in the streets. Meanwhile, as I go through my old television show, Issues in the Hood, I've been podcasting before it was even called podcasting, public access show, 1992 to 2008, over 500 shows. We are still fighting the same issues from 1992 and 2008. We're on a social treadmill as a people. We're on a social treadmill and with very little progress. As much as moving around us, like the rest of the world don't move. I mean, some parts of the hood don't move. They just recycle the same bad habits, whether it be alcohol, the latest drug, the latest hustle, and they want somebody to blame. Nobody takes responsibility for what they do or what they don't do. Nobody takes responsibility.
So true, Lonzo. Damn, yeah. Like Lonzo said, if you don't want that realness, tune into another channel because you're gonna get your feelings might get hurt a little bit here.
I might not be considered your friend because I'm gonna tell you how it is. I'm in some cases I'm not your friend. I might not be your favorite host, but I'm gonna tell you what's real. That's why my numbers are so low. Nobody want to hear the real shit. They want to hear bullshit. They want to hear bullshit. And you remember we first. Our numbers were growing fast as shit for a while.
Go ahead.
Our number was blowing up. We was growing in leaps and bounds. I said, this motherfucker talk too much. He talked too much shit. We need to slow him down.
Yep. Now we need to keep it coming, man, because we need this kind of talk out there. Ray Brown said it perfect. He said, he put in quotes, trying to be white. And unfortunately, this is something I've dealt with my whole life because at a point, I grew up in the same neighborhoods that a lot of you guys grew up. But when I was listening to people talk, I was like, I'm gonna talk, you know what I'm saying, proper. I'm not gonna talk like I'm a dumbass. Was there times where I was talking like a dumbass? Yo, what's up, money? You know what I'm saying? And I was doing all that back when I was 19, 20, 21. But when you hit a certain age, you should, I think, talk proper. Lonzo talks proper, has a big vocabulary. Other people out there talk proper as they get older. And it's just so crazy that you get called white, like you're acting white. What do you think about that?
I have a decent vocabulary for a non-college educated person. I listen to other people speak and I grab words and I interject them into my conversation. I don't think it's so much the word. I think it's the tone in which you learn to speak at some point in time. You could say certain things and inspire people and say that somebody can say the same damn thing and piss them off. And a lot of what people are missing in their communication skills is the delivery. I listen to Omar Johnson. I listen to Farrakhan. I listen to a lot of brothers that speak. I used to love listening to my man, the brother that passed, the what I'm talking about. Brother that passed, talk about
the black dude with the glasses. Yeah. Oh man, I'm having a brain fart. Everybody hated him.
Women hated him. Brothers loved him. You know what? He was one of them brothers.
Women hated him. Yeah. Why are we having a brain fart?
We both having brain farts. Jim and I brain farts. I can see his face. Y'all got him. Y'all know what I'm talking.
Samuel.
Yeah.
Kevin Samuels.
Kevin Samuels.
There we go.
And Kevin Samuels was a very intelligent brother, but every once in a while he would drop some street on you. Let him know I'm not the one to play with. He was always professional, always straightforward. But again, depending on who he was talking to, he'd have to code switch to get them to understand. I'm not the one, fat girl. I'm not the one, big baby. I'm not that dude. Okay, you're not gonna disrespect me. He'll put you right back in place as long as you talk to him like he has some sense. He would always extend that courtesy. And once you got one, then you got them sassy ones. Look here, you sassy heifer. I'm not gonna take that on my channel. You can't talk to me like that on my channel. And that's what made him made me a fan of his, because he did have the professionalism. He wore the tie, the suit, the whole 9 yards, the glasses, and he drank that poison, that damn that red shit that he loved so much that allegedly was a part of his demise. I'm not going to put that out there, but that's what I heard again. But he still maintained his street credibility, which is another good question. What is the real value of street credibility? What's the real value? Everybody wants street cred. Where do you spend street cred at? Street cred is like a cryptocurrency. Only you have value. Only you can put value on it. Outside of that circle of people that are in that street cred silo, does that street cred have any real value? You can't take it to the bank. It won't get you out of jail. It won't pay NAB bill. Okay, it's only good for people in that silo. And that's something I think we have to learn to understand, man. We put value on things that really have no value outside of our.
Thank you, Willie Moe.
Who's that? Willie Moe? One of my main dudes. We go back so far. I don't even see it, but that's all good. If you said it, I believe it. Much love to you, Willie Moe.
Yep, $9.99. Go look at it.
Much love to you, Doc. But yeah, when you think about the value of street cred and how it has no real value to anyone outside of the circle that it is outside that circle, period. You know, police, you pull up on the police. I'm Lonzo from World Class Wrecking Crew. I grew up over in the Bloods. And get your ass against the car. Go to the bank. Yeah, I'm so and so from West Side. Okay. And sir, do you have a deposit slip? No, I don't. You know, so I'm so and so from so and so. I'm here to pay my phone bill. Where your money at? I got street cred. You know, I got nigga coin. Oh, that's a new one.
Nigga coins, damn. Nigga intelligence last week.
I got nigga coin. Okay.
Good looking out, Marlon Cozy. Dang.
Marlon Cozy, much love to you, Doc. I got nigga coin. Okay. Only valuable in my hood. Can't take it across the street. Anyway, man, don't let me get shut down.
I'm gonna add that to our vocabulary list up here. I got some Lonzoisms that we can get into later on. Yeah, I started with that quote, Lonzo, because I wanted to talk about a big story that's hit Compton this past weekend. And for whatever reason, Compton has been on fire lately. The streets are heating up. Citizens app is going crazy. 3 shot here, 6 rushed to the hospital, 2 here. And it seems like it's literally on a daily basis. Scary because it's reminding me of the 90s. But a 12-year-old boy was shot at Fig Oleander Park in the city of Compton, and a 17-year-old was arrested. I'm going to play the news clip. It's a little sped up for copyright reasons, but I'm going to play the news clip, and I want us to discuss it. It's about a minute and some change.
Beatrice Martinez spent Mother's Day at the graveyard for her murdered 12-year-old son. And then she came here to the park where he was killed to celebrate Rodrigo's short life. 12-year-old Rodrigo Martinez murdered in his own backyard. Around the park picnic table riddled with bullets. Family and friends pray, share memories and photos. His little sister, 9-year-old Lexi, lights a candle in his honor.
He was a really good brother. I love him so much. He was funny. He would always joke around with me. And yeah, playing soccer. He meant so much to me.
Rodrigo lived part of the time with his dad, who shares a fence with Fig Oleander Park in Compton. The Davis Middle School soccer player grew up playing with the neighborhood kids at this park on Orris Street, and it's where he took his last breath. On Friday at 4 p.m., witnesses watched a man wearing all black and a black ski mask shoot and kill the kid and then run off.
He had been shot in his stomach, I believe, and he said it was right after school. His dad said it was 5 minutes, and he heard the shots, and he came running.
On Mother's Day morning, homicide investigators arrested a 17-year-old based on evidence collected at the park. His mom says he was raised right, steered clear of riffraff, and can't fathom how or why this happened to her little boy.
He actually got to give me my...
So a 17-year-old is now probably going to spend the rest of his life in prison. And a 12-year-old, apparently innocent kid who has nothing to do with the street life, his life is taken. Before we dive into this, I want to give you a little piece, Lonzo, that I would love your thoughts on. But I want to be mad at the 17-year-old so much. But who knows what type of trauma this kid has dealt with to give him the mentality to put on a ski mask, walk up to a 12-year-old playing in the park, and shooting him in broad daylight. What do you think of that aspect before you break it down and give your opinion on the matter?
The kid that was shot was a student at my wife's school. She knew him. That's the first thing. She knew him. My wife teaches school. She works in Compton Unified School District, and she knew the kid. He was a very nice kid, and I can't understand. Nobody has. I know the young man who was shot, who was killed. I know he was Latino basically by his name, but nobody said who the shooter was. And I know you should protect the identity of the shooter, especially if they're a minor. And I'm trying to figure out how the two even knew each other, how they even crossed paths outside of being at the park, whether he was black or Latino. And that's a 5-year age difference. I'm trying to understand what was the motivation. Was it a gang initiation? Did the kid know something? It don't make no sense. And that people keep talking about senseless. But he didn't. He wouldn't shot somebody who was totally innocent, which makes which totally is asinine to no end. And I don't know, man. I heard about it. My lady sent a bunch of text messages home yesterday about the kid, how he's such a nice kid, mannerable, blah blah blah, and without knowing who the shooter was, whether the shooter was black, white, black, Latino, whatever the case, probably wasn't white. Let's keep it 100. It's the CPT. He probably wasn't white, either black or Latino. And what kind of mindset would a 17-year-old kid have to be in to find a reason to hunt and kill somebody 12 years old? They shouldn't be in the same playground together. I mean, the park is open, of course, but their paths shouldn't even cross unless somebody knew somebody for some other reason. I can't even explain it, man. It's below my level of understanding.
One thing we can agree on is it's really sad, man. I can imagine, losing your child in such a senseless way. I know we keep throwing that word out there, but that's the only word I can think of myself. But, going back to the 17-year-old that was caught, I don't know why anyone would want to be a gangster in 2025 or do things like this. You're going to get caught.
That's what I was just saying. No, you know better, but you still do the same shit. The end result ain't gonna be good. You just messed yours up for life. You're probably gonna do life as something. He's probably a buster. He's probably a buster with a gun. You hit your face. You shot a kid, and unless that's just a backstory that nobody's talking about. Maybe the kid witnessed something. I don't know, but it makes no sense. It makes no sense. Period. And again. We all know the outcome. You're going to be a trial. There's going to be some funerals. There's going to be a bunch of people get paid. The coroner, the district attorney, the judges. The guy's going to plead not guilty most of the time. End up taking a plea deal, getting probably 25 to life, if not longer. Go to jail. We know the process. So when he left his house, he thought he wasn't going to get caught because he had on the mask. Obviously, he must have used a what you call them damn things, automatic, because he probably left shell casings in the damn in the park, And most people don't realize when they load their guns, you got fingerprints on the shell casings. Okay? There's fingerprints on the shell casings. Most people don't think about that, but they put gloves on to shoot so they won't have residue, but you already loaded the gun with fingerprint impressions of your fingers on the doggone gun. Now what? And you wonder why the police at your front door taking you to jail for the rest of your life. And Compton, I just was told by some Compton officials, they just purchased I forgot what they call this gizmo, that they can trace gunshots. There is a device that will let you triangulate gunshots. Okay. I talked to the police about this one. You can triangulate. When you hear the gunshots are done. I don't know how it exactly works, but they can cross something up with some satellites, and bam, go over here and look for the fool. He went this way. Now, if somebody saw that kid get shot and did not tell the police or don't go to court, whose side are you really on? The kid who got shot, you want justice for him, or you trying to protect it? You don't want to see another black or brown man in jail. Because if he'll kill for no reason, he'll kill for a reason. He don't need much of a reason to kill somebody. Who are you really protecting? What do if you were in the park and you saw that take place, and you are eyewitness to this man doing what he does, even though he was in a ski mask and whatever else he had on, you recognize his tennis shoes or his tattoos or his body language or his voice. Now, a lot of times people say shit, and when their mouth opens up, it's like a fingerprint. I know I can't talk to people. I have missed people for talking on the phone for years, and because of my speech pattern, hey, Lonzo, I ain't got. They can tell my voice pattern anywhere they go. Same thing. So you are a witness some way, form, or fashion, but you don't want to get involved. You don't want to go to the court. Who are you protecting? Are you going to protect? Are you protecting the criminal, or you just forget the kid? He ain't gonna bring him back. But do you want justice for the kid, or do you want the criminal to have a chance to come back and do it again? And I hate to say this because he's 17 years old. He made a mistake, but should he be back on the streets again? All these subjects, all these dilemmas now arise because a 17-year-old killed a 12-year-old kid. If it was for a gang initiation, a retaliation, or he just wanted to, I don't know. He just had a thirst for blood, man. I don't know, dude. You talking way above my pay grade. But these are some of the scenarios that cross my mind. But I can't understand. Again, my logic level will not stoop that low to make this even fathomable.
Yeah. Well, shout out to the family. Just want to send them our love, and hopefully you guys do as well. But let's go ahead, Lonzo. We're about halfway through the show. I'm gonna remind everybody to hit that like button if you haven't already. And if this is your first time joining the channel and you like what you hear, you appreciate it, you don't like it, you hate it, but you are listening, you are intrigued, hit that subscribe button. You are tuned in to N.W.A. Stories with Lonzo. I am Dusty Vision. That is Alonzo Williams, the godfather of West Coast hip hop. Let's get into some questions. You guys have some really good questions in the audience. So if you have any more, just keep them coming and I'll copy and paste them. But let's start with Matthew Perry. He says, hey, Alonzo, who is the female singer on the song Love Letter? Great song. And how come that wasn't a hit?
Love Letter was, that's Mona Lisa. I was right after we broke up. I think that was right after Wrecking Crew broke up. Nobody wanted to do another turnoff. Nobody wanted to do another Lovers after we split. And I was trying to get back on the radio. And thank you. It was a great song. It was a great song. I wrote it again. I wrote every word of that song. I'm not a gangster writer. I write to impress women. And it's just one of those things, man. Every song you write, when you press it up with every intention of going platinum. And sometimes you just go plastic. But that was Mona Lisa. She sang on Love
so that
Letter.
Is as a
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
No, Mona Lisa.
Oh no, you talk about Mona Lisa. Go ahead.
She sang on Love Letters, Lovers, And she sang on every song, or every female voice you heard on the Rap and Romance is Mona Lisa also. She would have been on Turn Off the Lights, but she was not in town that day. Shout out to Mona. Today is her birthday. I'm glad today is her birthday. That's right. Today is her birthday. I just saw it on Facebook earlier. Shout out to my girl Mona.
Mona Lisa. Now, so as a creative, Lonzo, you do go into every single song thinking that this is a hit?
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You look, every time somebody have sex, they think the baby gonna be beautiful. Surprise! This little motherfucker is not cute. Everybody that have a baby think the baby is cute till you hold that baby up to a cute baby. And that's what your music. Sometimes you think I do. Every artist in the world, with you drawing pictures, taking pictures, making music, you create something that you think is going to be the bomb that nobody's ever done before. And yeah, I call them the ugly baby syndrome. And because you made it, it's yours. It's your creation, and you have the right and the privilege, and sometimes the audacity to think this is good.
So Love Letter was an ugly child out there for everyone. But as any child, you love your ugly ones.
I don't think it was so much an ugly child. I think it was more of the music was shifting. Music was shifting when I dropped Love Letters. Music, I think.
Let's give a little listen to Lovers. Long ass intros always, right?
Girl, I sit here with my pen in my hand, trying to write words to help you understand the way I need you. And darling, I miss you so. Being away from you really makes my feelings grow. And I hope.
Okay, so did you talk throughout the whole song?
Yeah, it was just me and Mona. Just me and Mona. Then Mona comes in with a hook. Just me and Mona. I didn't have four guys.
Okay.
I was trying to keep all the money to myself that time. Shit. I wasn't trying to share with nobody.
So that is kind of different and risky at point, because you're not necessarily rapping, you're not really singing, not even really spoken word, but you're talking on a beat, but you're making it flow. What went behind that style of music? Because that's obviously not the first time you've done that. You did it on your biggest hit as well.
Yeah. Again, in the 80s, dude, rap didn't have any guardrails yet. There were some standards, but especially when it came to slow music. We only had three slow songs up until that point. We only had I Need Love by LL Cool J, Lovers by Turn Off the Lights, and that thing. And it may have been some other ones. I wasn't familiar with them. I'm not saying they didn't exist, but I'm just saying when it came to slow songs, there was no real standards for that. So for me to come out and do I don't know what you want to call it, a romantic style rap, I had the video in my head, brother sitting there writing a letter, and that was the whole vision for me for the song. And it shit started changing. That's one thing about art, man. We have to be real careful about. We were talking about this. Me and Yellow talked about this today. We both have projects going through a production company called You Can't Erase Me. And we first cut this deal before COVID. Before COVID, it was a pretty nice deal to be involved in financially. And it was a shoot now, pay later situation. And because of the way the industry shifted, we both realized, hey, man, we might not get the money we was promised because everything went from celestial television to fucking streaming. And now when you start streaming shit, it don't get the same value. It don't have the same value as it did when you had celestial TV and celestial radio. the streaming channels on television, Hulu and Netflix, and they do the same shit to movie producers that they do that the music channels do to artists. It's the same shit. You get a whole bunch of streams to get a little bit of money. So you got here spending all this money, and most people still want fat budgets for shit. Same thing with records. Why would somebody go in the studio and spend hire union musicians to produce records in a real studio and charts and orchestras and blah 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 to get tenths of a penny for the damn thing to get played? Same thing with comes to videos. You got it. You got real producers, real grips, real everybody, real cameramen, and you got to put it on the streaming channel to get pennies. Nah, man. Nobody wants to. It makes the product. It makes the whole process. It diminishes the value of the whole process. Put it that way. You know. Even when you go to somebody like Netflix, they want to own your product. They give you a small piece of money, and if you go hit, it's all you signed off on it. So you worse off than you were back in the 70s and 80s in a lot of cases.
Man, all right. So Ray Brown says Michelle A killed Turn Off the Lights. Wonder if Mona would have did the same. What do you think, Lonzo?
I think she would have killed it too, man. You know, that's like saying Patti LaBelle would have killed this. How would Gladys Knight would have done? Okay, they were two powerhouse voices. You know, but they were slightly different. Mona's voice was a little bit higher, but it's strong. Okay, Michelle's her singing voice was a little bit lower, but it was strong. And depending on, you know, Mona set the pace. Mona set the tone for Michelle A with Lovers. People forget about Lovers. Mona set the tone for she paved the way for Michelle A for Lovers to be for Turn Off the Lights to be a success on her performance on Lovers. So I would bet on Mona, man, because I know what she can do. Mona's had her own record deals. She's in a group called SH0T. She was like a Patti LaBelle groomed to be like a Patti LaBelle type singer. And you know, through the disco era, Mona's about the same age as I am, and the record business has taken so many twists and turns in the past 60 years, man. It's ridiculous. You know, she started off being a background singer for Bob Dylan and a bunch of other people. And then somebody heard her. One of those disco producers heard her, put her together with a couple of white girls, and she was on some Patti LaBelle and LaBelle type shit. Okay, she out front, but she got two girls in the back singing it ooh and ah. And when that didn't work out,
thank you, Rashard Cobb.
They still thought it. I ain't mad at you, fellas. I appreciate y'all. All right, Rashad. Much love to you, Doc. So yeah, Mona definitely had a career that was being guided to put her in the same category as a Patti LaBelle, but whatever reason, like so many other artists, even Michelle A, it didn't happen the way you thought it was going to happen, you know. And same thing with, like we said with records. You meet an artist, you think they're going to take it to the next level any day, and it just don't happen, man. It just don't, for whatever reason, it just don't happen. Shit start shifting. Life start lifing.
Good looking out to all the people who are donating tonight, man.
Much love to you folks. I appreciate every
money. You guys kept it around, huh?
Got that tax
Willie
check.
Mo shot that $9.99. Marlon Cozy, he says much love. Unc and Dust. And our homie Rashard Cobb just said, thanks for the good game, Lonzo and Dusty. Lonzo, was you nervous when them dudes ran down on you thinking you bootlegged their stuff? You told the story, but you never said how you was feeling. All right. Hey, that's a great time. Tell us the story, Lonzo, and take your time. Great story. And then also tell us how you felt.
I did an album, one of my first hood albums, Flamin'. Bunch of Bloods. I knew them. They was all around here. And they brought me some music, and I put it together and made an album for him. And in fact, I put my name on it backwards. I was produced by Osnald. That was my other name. Like Prince had Jamie Starr, I had Osnald. And it went out. It was doing okay. Okay. I didn't put no money into it. But back then, at that time, I think the late 80s, early 90s, the bootleggers was on a rampage, because now you could actually buy a CD, rip the song off the CD, and make your own CDs, because compilation CDs became the bootlegger's friend. During the bootlegging era, you can grab this cut, that cut, Dr. Dre, DOC, some Flamin', some of this MC8, throw it on there, and you got you a whole nother CD that's hot as shit, and get $10 for them, because that they was easy to make. Well, the cats that on the Flamin' album thought I had.
Thank you, Johnny.
Much love to you, Johnny. Cats on the Flamin' album, a couple of them thought I had sold the records to the bootleggers. And I'm leaving the pad one day, and I was getting my house painted. I was leaving the pad. I was going to handle some business. I think I had on a tie and a suit or something like that. I'm going down the street, and I'm going down 120th, and I saw these cats kind of mashing down on me. And after I passed Vermont, they kept on going. There's a four-way stop sign not far. Not across the four-way stop sign. They ran the stop sign and pulled up on me. Pull over. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Oh, yeah, I'm a little nervous. Yes, I'm a little nervous, because back then, Negroes was falling left and right. Yes, I am nervous. I am not going to tell you, oh, no, nigga, no, we're not doing that today. And when I realized who it was, I got pissed off. Man, what the fuck y'all doing? Oh, man, we see you got this. I should have been bootleg, blah, 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 blah. And we want our money. Oh, you think no, fool? I went off on him. First of all, don't be putting up on me like you're going to do something. Second of all, it's almost an honor to be bootleg. They only grab the best of the best. And, oh, yeah, you're right, man. They didn't grab the whole goddamn album. And we went back and forth. But I realized I couldn't do business with hood dudes like that no more, because they don't understand business. And they think because I'm getting my house painted or something like I have to get my house painted and something else. Fool, I was balling when you met me. That's why you came to me in the first place. I was already balling. I've been here already. Had a studio, making records all over the radio, clubs, the whole 9 yards. And you think because I got my house painted that is why I had to sell your record to the bootleggers? Man, I ain't messing with y'all. Okay, we cool. Oh, man, we sorry. We apologize, but dude, it wasn't the same no more, man. Because it could have went left. It could have went left real easy, and all over a misunderstanding. And that's another reason why I left the gangster shit alone. It was not something I wanted to be a part of. Not to mention that the brother who I'd hired to do all the record stores and the swap meets for me, shit, he came by one day, man. Brother man was always laid back. He was cool. He was from the village over there. Well respected OG. Came home after leaving the swap meet. Came home, hat twisted, looking crazy and shit. Oh, Lonzo, man, take your shit, man. I can't fuck with this shit no more. What happened, man? Man, I went to the swap meet and I was just dropping off some CDs to Mr. Parker, like you told me. And some Crips from Compton ran up on me, man. I had to run up out there. They banged me up a little taste. I'm all right, but I'm quitting, man. I can't do this no bullshit. I'm like, man, and at that time, any affiliation with any cross, any color other than the one that you was being confronted by was a definite ass whooping or a possible shooting. Nah, man, I went there on my conscience, dude. I'm real talk. I went there on my conscience. And that's why I didn't fuck with a lot of this shit, dude. I understood. I'm in the same house from 40-something years ago, man. I ain't moved. I'm still here. Not because I'm no punk. I learned the street politics. I don't play certain politics. I don't play in certain arenas. I keep my ass out of that shit. Anybody know me? Nah, that nigga down. He ain't fucking with that. Nope, I ain't doing that. But I learned the hard way. It ain't to be dealt with. Leave that shit alone. Most of the cats that talk all that high-powered gang shit live in Corona or somewhere in the valley. They still don't live in the hood. All them gangsters do not live in the hood. Trust me. You very seldom see them in the hood.
Or Calabasas.
Or Calabasas. You don't see them in the hood. Real talk.
Thank you, Johnny, again for the donation, $4.99. He says, do you think Michelle A would have blew up with you like she did with Ruthless?
If Dre had a producer, very possible. Well, you know what? Now here's something. I had some bad R&B producers on my squad. Okay, a lot of the guys that worked with Dre came from me. Willie Z, saxophone, L.A. Dre, keyboards, Stan the guitar man. So it was my squad. The squad was available because I went to school with the squad. The squad was guys that came from me. I had Booker. I mean, these Willie D, Willie Mo know everything I'm saying is true. If he's still on the podcast, he knows everything I'm saying. I had a hell of a R&B squad here that was played here on a regular basis. Okay, I can say, L.A. Dre. I've been knowing him since ever. Standing guitar man. Booker was a hell of a keyboard player. Z played keyboards and saxophone. So we could have did it. We could have pulled it together. Don't know if we'd have had the money. Rufus, understand this. Rufus had more money than we did, but that don't mean we would have got a record deal to make it happen. So I'm gonna say this is very possible. Very possible.
Ray Brown says, Alonzo, what was the most important music business advice that Eazy-E soaked up from you?
What was the most important music advice he ever soaked up from me? He didn't, as much shit as I gave him, he didn't even use anything or emphasize anything till around the end, and that was to be your own man. Nobody ever signed my checkbooks with me. I never had a co-signer or nothing like that. And that was something he had to learn not to do over a period of time. I told him to stay independent for a while, and that the major's gonna give you a check, and he did do. That he did do.
It's a great question right there. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. There was one I had. Marlon wants to know, yo, Unc, can you describe a typical day of you and Eazy hanging out at the crib?
I live here, so I'm here all day long. Dre had a key to the studio, so Dre would come to the studio. Side gate be open. Dre come to the studio. I look out the window. I might be sitting there at the table on the phone or something, handling some shit, and Eazy will pull up. He'll walk around the studio, and you walk up my steps. You got to go to the left, and you walk around to the side gate. And I'm sitting at the dining room table handling shit, and motherfucker, hey, what up? What up? And after I got through doing what I'm doing, I may pop in the studio, see what they're doing. And they usually back there bullshit most of the time. Dre got a beat. He got on the 1200s. Eazy was not here a lot after he was here, but he wasn't here in a business capacity after he formed Ruthless Records. Before then, he'd be in the living room kicking it, and he'd come over. He have one of his babies in tow. Maybe Lil E. I think Lil E had an older brother too. Eazy was the only one that would bring a kid with him to my house. Baby bottle, diaper bag, the whole 9 yards. And as soon as he got here, he picked up my cell phone and called one of his girls. I'm at Lonzo's house. Yeah, Dre here, Yella, Lonzo. I don't know what he's doing. He was at the table. Man, give me my phone. I got to go. Lonzo on his phone. We get ready to go someplace. He got picked the call. We finna go to Macola. We're gonna go buy Pink's, get some hot dogs. Lonzo, Yella, Dre. I think Yella ride with Lonzo. I'm not bullshitting. I'm like, God damn, will you please get the fuck off? Why do you have to? Oh man, she be tripping sometime. I don't want to hear that shit. This is the people that I know. These are the versions that I know. You guys don't know the versions of these cats that I know. No, he was not that kick a bitch. No. He was the nicest guy in the world. He respected his women. But he also had a little henpeck thing to him too. So why do me and him would get into it because I had one of the first, I'm a gadget man. I had one of the first long distance cordless phones. The cordless phones first came out, that motherfucker went like 35, 40 feet. Okay. Mine would come out to the studio. I paid a couple $100 for this stuff, but I'd be out in the studio. I could be in the studio and get a phone call in the basement, be in the house, be in the backyard. Easy got my goddamn phone in his back pocket. Man, give me my goddamn phone. Oh man, I'm waiting on the call. My girl just paged me. I tried to call her back. Her line was busy. We had busy lines. We didn't. Hey, come on, man. We got some different kind of shit going. Oh, I'm here with Alonzo House, and he would give a blow by blow description of all the shit that was happening in my house. And why are you doing that, man? Oh man, she just be tripping. I don't want to hear her mouth when I get back. Take the baby back. Okay, man, whatever. That's the nigga. I pluck. Oh man, I ain't hearing pack. Bullshit. That's the kind of shit that we dealt with. And I watched this brother go from that shit to becoming Eazy-E. That was Eric. I want him to go that. I want to watch him go from being a doting dad, taking care of his kids, semi-henpecked, driving a Suzuki Samurai, and to become an Eazy-E. And he still came by my house on a regular basis. And I clowned his ass. You want to use the phone? Oh, you got a cell phone now. You don't need my phone no more. And that's the kind of conversation. We fuck with each other because that's what men do. That's what men do. Real shit.
That's dope. All right, we got a few more minutes. Matthew Perry says, hey, Lonzo, have you ever came into contact with anybody at Bad Boy Records throughout the years?
Yes. Me and Andre Harrell was cool. He and I was supposed to get together. I saw Andre Harrell at the screening of Defiant Ones. We were all at Paramount Studios in LA, Hollywood. And he came out, man, I saw you in the documentary. Oh, because what people forget, Andre Harrell used to be in a group called Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. He played Eve After Dark, just like Run DMC, Curtis Blow. These are my receipts. Okay. Him. It was funny because his name was Andre, his partner's name was Alonzo, and my partner's name was Andre, and my name was Alonzo. So we thought that was a weird combination. But I like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde because they were the first ones in hip hop that wore suits. They wore suits in hip hop. Look them up. Andre Harrell and his partner Alonzo. They were on Def Jam, and they wore suits and they had a different kind of rap style. Just like people forget about Houdini, forget about Kool Moe Dee. Kool Moe Dee was one of the best dressed cats in hip hop. Never wore tennis shoes. That nigga wore boots everywhere, leather suits every day, every video, glasses, hats, leather suits. Hip hop, early hip hop was a lot different than it became. So yeah, Andre Harrell and I were buddies. Like I said, I saw him at the movie. We talked for a good little while, and about 4 or 5 months later, he was dead. He was gone.
Whew. Yeah, man. All right, let's see. Yeah, we got a couple more minutes, Lonzo. Any last words? What you got coming up? The summertime is here. I know you stay busy, man. Any last words before you hit them with that outro?
I'm working on with my company I work with part-time. EECI is doing a Morris Day concert at the Cerritos Performing Arts Center on June 28th. I got Morris Day and the Time, Howard Hewitt, and Miss Chalet, all going to be in concert at the Cerritos Performing Arts Center in Cerritos on June 28th. I'm also working with the city of Compton. We're bringing First Fridays at Compton starting June the 4th. I'm doing a Father's Day event. I'm awarding about 17 fathers from the city of Compton with various showing love, certificates of appreciation for putting in work in Compton. My birthday is right behind that, so it's kind of a birthday party for me. But it's more of giving something back. That's all, man. I was born on Father's Day, as some of y'all already know, and I just felt that Father's Day, Mother's Day just passed, And I should have took some pictures, but I didn't. All the flowers, all the baskets. Father's Day ain't gonna be shit on the corner, but the drunk son bitch.
Facts. We need to change that, man. We need to change that.
I'm doing my best to do my part. So yeah, I'm getting ready for my prostate cancer walk. So yeah, I'm getting it's kind of cranking up here. It's kind of cranking up.
There it is, man. Hit him with that outro.
All right, folks. For those who never heard of me, I'm the first one to put Dr. Dre in the surgery, stuck Ice Cube in the freezer until he got cold. On the eve after dark, 50-yard line to Super Bowl. In the movie Straight Outta Compton, they played me like a hater of rap. Don't believe that Hollywood bullshit because it was all cap. My history goes deeper than you will ever know. Just remember that N.W.A. stands for not without Alonzo. We out, y'all. Peace.